You're watching E.T.N, where we don't do news, we just talk entertainment. Share and subscribe.
Hey guys, welcome to Entertainment Talk Nation. This is Rob. This video is actually a very late video. So this one you're about to see is a top 5 video I did about 2 weeks ago that I thought I put up and I never did. So this is probably the last video uploaded that you will ever see of me sitting. So anyway, enjoy the video and I'll catch you guys later. Hey guys, welcome to E.T.N. This is Rob. This is another top 5. The second one I said I was going to do this week. First top 5, many of you saw, was my top 5 kaiju that I believe deserve their own movie. So this one, very similar, but a little bit different. This is my top 5 kaiju who I believe should have gotten more burn. And when I say more burn, I mean they should have been in movies a little bit more often than they actually were. So we're going to start. So at number 5, I'm going to say Manda. Yes, Manda. This is a very, very unique kaiju that we've seen spread out throughout Toho's movies. Was in Final Wars, was in, obviously, Destroy All Monsters. And outside of that, there really wasn't much else. You know, a couple of highlights here and there. But I do believe it would have been nice to see Manda in a little bit more films. I know it's very odd. It's a very unique monster in the sense that, you know, how would it fight? What would it do? But still, it just wasn't around enough to really see whether or not it would have been effective. And Manda, again, even in Destroy All Monsters, he wasn't in the final fight. In Final Wars, he was at the very beginning and got destroyed. And then throughout that, you would see him in little highlights, like when they show like Monster Island, and you see him there. So Manda, yeah, definitely a monster I would have liked to have seen get more burn throughout the Toho series, and did not. And unfortunately, you know, we don't know if we'll ever see that again. We still don't know if Toho's going to make their own films, but hopefully if they do, they can take some of these characters that I'm about to talk about here and just maybe show more of them. So that's number 5. At number 4, Varan. Varan, you know, this is a monster who had his own movie, and that's pretty much it. You know, and it's a very cool monster. You know, I love the fact that Varan, like, you know, it's got the whole wings coming out, or if you want to call them that, attached to his body and can glide. It's a cool looking monster with spikes. It just, and I don't know why. I don't know why this is a monster that wasn't utilized more. You know, it's just, again, especially considering it got its own movie. You would think a monster that gets his own movie would show up more, like Rodan. Rodan had his own movie, showed up in a lot of Godzilla flicks, and you know, but Varan just didn't turn out that way. And I don't know if it's because people didn't like it at the time. I don't know if it's because Toho just had so many monsters on their roster that they just couldn't find room for him. But still, I really do think, and he's in like a mini clip of Destroy All Monsters, and I can't even recall if he was in anything else, to be honest. I really don't. So yes, definitely Varan should have been a monster that should have been utilized more in the Toho universe. Was not, and yeah, that's pretty unfortunate. So, all right, so number 3, Baragon. Yes, Baragon. Now, Baragon, obviously we saw in GMK, which was just a sad showing of this monster. He pretty much got his ass handed to him by Godzilla. And then beyond that, we saw Baragon in, obviously, Baragon versus Frankenstein. And then very, very briefly was teased in Destroy All Monsters, or at least mentioned. And that's it. As far as I can tell, that's it. I don't, you know, I can't recall anything else he's been in other than the Frankenstein movie, the GMK movie, and then a short clip, I believe the Japanese version of Destroy All Monsters, not necessarily the American version, and it was very short. It was there for like half a second. In fact, you could see him in a lot of screenshots of, if you look up Destroy All Monsters, you see some screenshots from like behind the scenes stuff. He's there, but he just didn't make the final cut. And yeah, and a lot of people do like Baragon. It's a little bit of a different monster. But yeah, it's just unfortunate we didn't get to see a whole lot of them. So, but be that as it may, too bad. So at number 2, King Caesar. King Caesar. who I saw in Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla, didn't see again until Godzilla Final Wars. I mean, really? I mean, he was cool. Hey, he was kicking the shit out of Mechagodzilla before Godzilla showed up. He was holding his own. He obviously proved he can fight some of the big boys, so why not give this monster more shot? A lot of people do like him. He's a very, very unique I mean, he looks like a Cocker Spaniel in my eye. I always thought he looked like a Cocker Spaniel with less hair. But no, to be serious, I thought it was a very cool monster. He had a nice little history to him for the brief time he was in Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla. And it was just a shame that we never got to see him again. It was a shame that he never surfaced again until Final Wars. And I didn't really like the way he looked in Final Wars. I liked the way he looked a lot better in Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla. But yeah, so King Caesar's number 2. I thought it would have been really nice to see him a lot more, but we did not get to. So yeah. And at number 1, Jet Jaguar. Yes, Jet Jaguar. Here is, and not necessarily a monster in the Kaiju universe, but here is a character, a robot, that was really cool when it came out. I mean, even though you hated Megalon, I know there's some people out there who hate Godzilla vs. Megalon, but Jet Jaguar was the cool part of Megalon. It was the first time we got to see a big robot, and it was unfortunate we never got to see him again. In fact, I really, now that I think about it, it would have been cool if he even had his own movie. He was kind of like Toho's answer for Ultron. I mean, excuse me, Ultraman. Still got Marvel on the brain. And he was obviously, there was no explanation as to why he could grow or not, but it doesn't matter. He was really cool, and he could fly, and he had karate moves. I mean, very, very Ultraman inspired, but that's not a bad thing. And if you had put him and left him in the Godzilla universe, maybe even team him up with Godzilla a couple more times, I don't know how they would have incorporated him into the newer Godzilla movies, like the Heisei series and the Millennium series. But I really think an updated look and maybe something a little bit more grounded, maybe not doing so much karate moves, but considering how popular Mechagodzilla was, I think it would have been a good thing to have a Jet Jaguar character, maybe lose a little coloration, but enhance him a little bit for the Heisei and Millennium series. I really thought, or maybe even a big showdown between Jet Jaguar and Godzilla would have been really nice. You know what I mean? Make them enemies. That would have been really cool. A really, really different take on Jet Jaguar. But that's just me personally. Those are my top 5 monsters that I felt should have gotten more burn in the Godzilla universe, a little bit more airtime, a little bit more nurturing into some of these other movies, and I thought it would have been cool. But you know how it goes. Dream. So anyway, guys, those are my top 5 kaiju that should have gotten more limelight in the Toho universe over the years. They did not. Whether or not we'll ever get to see it remains to be seen, but I'm not going to hold my breath. Anyway, so what about you? What monsters would you have liked to have seen getting more burn in the Toho universe, or any other universe for that matter? And are there any monsters on this list that you feel should have gotten more burn? This is Rob signing off for E.T.N, where we don't do news, we just talk entertainment. Take it easy.
Thank you for watching E.T.N. Don't forget to comment, share, and subscribe. Join the nation's Facebook page to meet other subscribers, or visit E.T.N's Facebook page and Twitter page. Links for all are in the description.